A very warm welcome to all the viewers of My Khel in One India. While cricket has again taken the center stage because of the just concluded ICC Champions Trophy, but in some small parts of the world, cricket and sports in general has still incurred some rot from a few marginalized sections of the society. While the Afghan men's team, of course, done quite well in cricket in recent times, and they've also brought accolades for Afghanistan. But the women counterpart had to flee Afghanistan because of the diktat from the Taliban regime. And today we have with us a Taekwondo champion from Afghanistan who, like any other female athlete, had to flee Afghanistan to pursue her own sports dream. On the mat, she can flatten any opponent with her vicious kicks. And outside the match, she has been fighting for the rights of women in general in Afghanistan. Welcome to our show, Marzieh Hamidi. Thank you so much for coming in. And of course, we have so much to talk to.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure for me to be here and to talk about more details and big issues, especially what Afghan cricket team is doing. And for me, it's important to be here and to raise awareness and to send a message of Afghanistani women to Indian people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marzieh. So you have been a refugee in France from 2021, right? Because you had to pursue your own dreams in sports, which is of course not allowed in Afghanistan under the Taliban regime. It just so happened that you took a stance saying that just like the Afghan men's team, the women's cricket team also should be allowed to play likewise. And that's when all hell broke loose. And and then you started getting phone calls, WhatsApp messages, some 5,000 odd phone calls and WhatsApp messages saying, giving you death threats and rape threats and whatnot. I'm sure it must have been some horrifying experience for you in the last few months or so, right?
Yes, when I say that the Afghan cricket team do not represent Afghanistani women and people of Afghanistan, and they are representing terrorist Taliban on international platform, after that, their fans started attacking me and they start calling me, threatening me with death and rape threats. And this happened in September. Since September until now, I'm under the police protection, and I have built my life in Paris to have a good life and to be in peace. But unfortunately, these people take all my safety and my freedom. But I'm not regret, as I said. I'm proud of my fight, and I think it was a moment to talk about it, to say that what they're doing, because it's not just that they are just coming back from competition and take photo with Taliban as an athlete. They have a private dinner together, they spend nights together, and we all know like what's going on with them. And even there was a video of all of the cricket members, athletes, they were saying that yes, the goal is to represent Taliban. We aim for that. We are doing our best to represent you. They were saying this to the Taliban leader when they had lunch. And I think this is clear, like what is the position. They're not with people, they're not with women. Afghanistan is in a horrible situation and is the only country in the world where being a woman is a crime. This is gender apartheid. What is going on against women in Afghanistan is a crime against humanity. And plus there is many issues in Afghanistan that is more than gender equality, gender apartheid that is happening. But cricket athletes, they close their eyes to all of this crime, all of this corruption, and they stand by terrorists. And it's always like this. Each time the government change in Afghanistan, cricket team, they just stand by politicians. They just stand with the corrupt system. They never stand by people. And I spoke out. I was like, okay, it's enough. People should wake up and to see what is their position. They don't care about us. Why we have to support them? Why they have to say they are national team? They are not national team anymore. Who is this national team? What is this nation? It's me, my sisters, and many other people. So because of that, my life is in danger, because cricket is a very important sport for people in Afghanistan, and is like the only sport that they are very good on international level.
True.
And because of that, they were like, okay, this girl, she's a free woman. She lives in Europe. She doesn't live in our standards. And plus, she's talking about a cricket team like this. Okay, it's enough. We have to stop her. But they couldn't succeed, and they will never succeed because I am more brave, more than what they think, and I will never stop this fight. And for me, it's really important that not only people of Afghanistan, people of India, Pakistan, all the countries that they have a good cricket team, they have to boycott this team. For example, India must stop playing with the athletes that they don't represent the same values,
Yeah.
and it's sad to see that how they are growing and how the ICC and other players are closing their eyes about this Afghan cricket team, that how they are normalizing terrorists, because in the sport is about peace, but what they're doing is not peace. There is no peace with terrorists. And as you know, because of apartheid in South Africa, has been banned many times from Olympic. I think 2-3 times they have been banned.
Yeah.
And this must be for cricket team of Afghanistan too, because if it's about equal fight for human rights, so it should be for Afghanistan too, because gender apartheid is a big issue in Afghanistan. And as I said, it's more than gender apartheid. There is many things going on. They are brainwashing young kids in Afghanistan, and it's many things going on. But I speak for women's right more, because in the history of Afghanistan, it has always been women victim. So yes, all of this happened to me. Simply just I said boycott Afghan cricket team, and they don't represent people of Afghanistan.
True. Now, talking about Rashid Khan, because we have just mentioned about the Afghan men's team still playing cricket, and while Rashid Khan, I mean, you did mention, that he was in a photo shoot with a few Taliban officials, I guess. But at the same time, I also found Rashid Khan, who of course happens to be one of my favorite cricketers. He also had somewhere tweeted, I think, saying that women's cricket team in Afghanistan should be allowed to play. So, do you think it's a kind of a paying a lip service wherein maybe it's not very serious? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to make something clear.
Yeah.
Even though we allow and we recognize a women's team out of Afghanistan, it doesn't mean that we should not boycott Afghan cricket. This is totally separate, because first of all, sport has been banned for girls in Afghanistan, and if the cricket team, girls team, want to represent Afghanistan out of the country, it's totally different. What cricket men's team are doing, they're normalizing terrorists, even though we give the platform to the girls. Even they compete for me, they should not represent their team as a refugee team. They must compete as an Afghanistan team. And second, if ICC recognize them, perfect, but it doesn't mean we should close our eyes to the normalizing of terrorism by cricket team, Afghan men. So this is what I don't understand, why some people are saying that, okay, girls, if they can compete, so men, it's okay. No, it's totally different. We want to girls compete, but the girls are not normalizing terrorists. But correct men's team, they are normalizing terrorists, and is more than normalizing, and their goal is to represent Taliban. I swear, like, if tomorrow ICC tell them that you can raise the flag of Taliban, they will do. But officially, they are not allowed to do that yet. But if tomorrow they say you can do that, they're gonna do that. I'm sure there is no debate about that, because when they eat together. How we can eat with terrorists that they kill millions of people. Rashid Khan was sitting next to Anas Haqqani. Who is Anas Haqqani? He is a terrorist. He killed many of our loved ones in Afghanistan by the name of jihad. He killed all of them, and he was in charge of all the inter-Hari bomb attacks in Afghanistan. So this is not sport, and people must wake up. We have to make it clear what is a sport. Maybe for them it's also like this. Maybe they don't care what is going on for the women's rights in Afghanistan and for to the people. And I think they must not mix this. Even the ICC allow and recognize women's team, female athlete. they have to boycott Afghan men team because they are normalizing Taliban, and it's not now. It's been 3 years that they are doing that. They are doing more than that. And with this kind of tweet of Rashid Khan, it's just a game. You know, he thinks he can take photo with terrorists, he can be friends with them, he can normalize them, and then he writes a tweet, oh, let's support girls team. We are not, I'm sorry to say that, we are not stupid. We know what's your game. We know you don't care about anything. We know you don't care about women's rights, because if you care, you would never sit in this on the same table and to eat with terrorists.
Right.
Oh my God.
So gender apartheid in Afghanistan, it's obviously it's a very serious subject, right?
Yeah.
Now, even in a place like India, we got a state called Haryana, okay, where it is believed that the women in Haryana are quite subjected to oppression in terms of not given equal rights to women. They're always suppressed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But having said so, we have the best of female wrestlers from Haryana, world champions. I'm talking about very top-notch wrestlers. I'm not talking about national level wrestlers. There are a few of them have been Olympic champions, world champions, so to say, from Haryana. Female wrestlers I'm talking about. And so I guess there was a few male voice who stood up, even in an imperfect ecosystem, that, hey, let's have a debate, even though I'm sure that debate was an imperfect one. So is there any chance of that happening in a place like Afghanistan, wherein maybe a few male can still stand up to the Taliban saying say that, hey, let us allow the women to play, or it's just not possible because maybe the next thing will happen is that they're jailed or whatever. I mean, is it at all possible for a few group of, I'm sure there are a few people in Afghanistan who have who wants to voice it out, supporting the women, teams, playing sports and stuff like that, going to the colleges, which is again not allowed. So do you think it could be allowed in some parts, or it's just not possible? Saying in Afghanistan and raise a voice against the Taliban regime.
To be honest, most of the time people say like, oh, even I have seen women, some of them, they were saying this, oh, for men it's different. If they talk, they're gonna go to jail, they're gonna kill them. But women also are in the jail now. Women who protest, women who stand up against these terrorists and they said, we want our freedom back. They're also in the jail. But if they don't stand, if they don't take the risk, it means they don't care about women's rights. And it is like this. Unfortunately, most of men in Afghanistan, like I can say 80%, 90% of men in Afghanistan, like they don't care what's going on for women. And
Okay.
them is not important things, because as I said before the Taliban, we had also women's right issue, and in most of village, most of the cities, women were not allowed to go to school. It was not Taliban, it was families, it was brother, fathers, husband. So this problem has deep roots in Afghanistan, unfortunately, and we should not mistake about it and to say it's just only because Taliban took the power. This issue is from long time ago, more than 25 years. And but if now men are really silent and they don't care, it's because they don't care, to be honest. Because how you can stay silent and how you can close your eyes and to see, I don't go for just your sister, your mother, your wife, they're suffering under this oppression, and how you can just close your eyes and to say, oh, I'm afraid. So we have to choose between for everything, if you want to fight for your freedom, that will cost. Is nobody can give you your freedom. It's not something free. You have to fight for that. And women of Afghanistan, since the Taliban took power, they stand up. They were in the streets of Kabul. They were protesting, and they showed to the world that they want their freedom back. There was no one by their side in the manifestation when they started, and even now. So I want to say from here that women of Afghanistan, they're really alone. Even the men, most of the men, they don't support them, and it's only them, and they're fighting against a terrorist regime that they really dangerous. They don't care about anyone, and they just kill people. And we need to support them. We need to be their voice. And the big boycott of cricket team is one of the way to support them, because this team is normalizing gender apartheid and this, because I have seen many people, they're like, oh, Afghanistan is in a good situation because I see they have a team competing. they think Afghanistan is a good situation because there is a team
Oh, okay.
competition.
Oh, that way, yes.
But this is not the reality of
Okay.
Afghanistan. They are
Yeah.
not the reality of Afghanistan. They are just a special group of people that they have this privileged life. They have a good life because they are terrorists. And of course, they're gonna represent and be in a good life. But women are alone in Afghanistan, and I think they deserve to have a voice and they deserve to have their right. And the most important is one of that is sport, because sport has a power,
Yeah.
and these people are going in big platforms and normalizing Taliban.
True, true. Now talking about your the threat to your life and everything bad that's happening around. Of course, I guess your phone number was made public. It leaked somewhere, and then people those people started calling you and threatening you, whatever. Now you are of course under police protection there in Paris. You also got a bodyguard, I guess. Uh, so these people, I'm sure there are investigation going on. So these people are they from Paris, France, or somewhere from Europe, or maybe from Afghanistan? Where are these people mostly from?
Well, they are most of them they are from Afghanistan. They are not French or Italian or German. They
No,
are fan
I'm
of,
talking about
yeah, the residents in like the numbers they
residents,
call.
residents
Yeah,
of.
they number they call me. It was from France, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, UK, USA, Saudi Arabia, Dubai, even Indian number.
Oh,
They were texting me from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, from all, like even from Malaysia, from some countries, they send me a message that I was not thinking even any Afghans live there. The number that I received, I was shocked. And even they add me in some group of WhatsApp that it was so
oh,
scary. Like they
yeah,
were like full of terrorists. And I was like, oh my God, what's going on in my number? Where I am? What is these groups? They add me. And it was I'm sure it was organized, because it's not possible. Because when I received the first call, I started receiving non-stop calls in
oh,
5 minutes.
yeah,
And one night I received 500 messages and calls. And when the
mm-hmm.
police took my phone, he was like,
Yeah,
what's going on? I said,
mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm here to know what's going on.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm sorry to say that, but even most of the fan of cricket, they're like, they behave like Taliban. I'm sorry to say that, but as you see, they don't respect the freedom of speech. They don't respect women, because when I just talk about that's the reality. Even what I said is not
yeah.
something that I talk bad things. It's about the reality. The reality is that they are normalizing a group of terrorists, and then they start attacking me because simply I said they are not
True.
representing people of Afghanistan. So these people are really danger, not even for me. They are danger for anyone who speak out.
Mhm.
I am the one of example. If another woman or even a man speak out against these kind of things, against cricket, they're gonna do anything. And a few weeks ago, the fan of cricket attacked a man in London, an Afghan man who spoke out against them.
Oh,
They attacked him at his home with knife. So I was lucky that French government, French police, they protect me the first day when I received calls, and they were really taking care of me, my freedom and my safety. But there are many people that still they don't have protection. So what about the freedom of speech and people who are talking about the issues and their life is in danger?
okay, okay. Now, one very important thing maybe is that uh, so, what is the solution then? Because, see, for example, a few like-minded people like you who always wanted to express yourself through your sports or be it any other field, right? Somehow you had the guts to really come out of Afghanistan. Then you took that, risk on your own life. And then you being a refugee, of course, you're still pursuing your dreams and trying to make it more fruitful, which, of course, would not have been possible staying in Afghanistan. So likewise, I've also interviewed with Kimia Yusufi before, who was an Olympic athlete, but again, she couldn't stay in Afghanistan and represent Afghanistan. She had to stay somewhere else and then participate on behalf of Afghanistan. So a few people can do that, right? But how about those women staying there in Afghanistan? They obviously can't do even if they want to. So what is the solution? I mean, I guess it's again a very temporary solution for a person like you know, who is fighting not only for your own rights, but also, I mean, fighting for the rights of the women staying in Afghanistan, right? But that's going to be only a few thousand. It can't be so many, right? So what is the solution then? I mean, is it going to, of course, you will, you will let your voice be heard through platforms like this or through UNESCO, you know, or through different, tournaments that you'll be playing. But what about those people, those women still staying and they are staying there in Afghanistan, not able to play sport, not able to go to college, you know, schools and colleges still not open for girls and women. So what is the solution then?
Well, to be honest, it's a challenging question because like politics in Afghanistan, it's like so bad, like it's so difficult to talk about many things. But to be honest, first I want to say it's better to close the schools to be closed because we don't want our young girls to go to madrasa. I don't want they go there and to be brainwashed by the Taliban and to learn what the Taliban learn in their
Yeah.
madrasa, you know. So it's a very dark situation. It's a very bad situation. Like I cannot even imagine how the young girls are living. I was stuck 5 months, almost 5 months in Afghanistan when the Taliban came. I was dying every day. You know, I know the pain in my heart. I feel it. I feel them. It's very hard. Like every day you wake up, you are like, okay, there is no freedom. I have to stay at home all the day. It's very hard. But there is one thing also that we don't want to live with this regime. You know what I mean? I don't want the open schools
Okay.
that it's like madrasa. And you know what I mean? They give me freedom, but in fact, it's not freedom. It's another way of oppress the society, you know? So it's a difficult question, but the thing is that we have to fight against this regime, and international community must recognize gender apartheid, and also they should stop legitimizing a regime that has erased women, you know, in Afghanistan. And I don't know what the politics gonna do with Taliban, to be honest, because it's very, very complicated. But in my view, what we can do out of the country is to recognize gender apartheid, to give online education to the young girls in
Oh, okay.
Afghanistan, underground schools, even if we can give them some scholarships, because we cannot take millions of girls out of the country. It's their country. We have to be there and to be free there. So I think the best is to give them online education, scholarships, underground schools, you know, to educate them in a good way, but also to keep them safe, you know. It's a bit challenging, but we can do with many NGOs, you know, like international community, like all of them, if they want, they can help. And for athletes, it's very difficult because Taliban they will never allow women to do sport. The one way is to leave the country, but how they can leave, because even they cannot leave the house without a man. They
Yes.
cannot, they are not allowed to walk in the city without a man. So I'm not in the position to say they can do that, they can do that. No, I cannot, because it's dangerous. It's dangerous, you know. If they want to take action, the Taliban will arrest them. And you know, as you know, there is forced marriage, like many things is going on against women in Afghanistan. And I don't say that they have to do this, but what we can do out of the country is to recognize gender apartheid. It's not possible to recognize Taliban anymore because gender apartheid is a big issue and they will never be recognized as an official government. Because of that, we are fighting a lot to address this to the international community and to push them to recognize it as soon as possible, because women are suffering more than 3 years and it's enough, you know, and we need justice for Afghanistani women inside of Afghanistan.
Phew. It's a very complicated situation.
Yeah.
I know, I mean, it's difficult. Okay, you're anyway under a lot of fire. Let's add a little bit of more fire. Can we have a few rapid fire questions? Rapid fire.
Yeah.
You're anyway used to the fire, so I don't think it's going to
Yeah.
be.
I'm always on the fire.
For you, it's like nothing. What fire? Mm. Your favorite fighter? You're a Taekwondo champion, of course, so I'm sure you would be following a lot of different sports, combat sports, or it could be any other sport as well. But when it comes to a fighter, maybe from a combat sport, whom would you pick? Your favorite one?
In Taekwondo or in any field of sport?
Any combat sports. It could be wrestling, it could be boxing, it could be Taekwondo, of course. Yeah.
Well, for me, um, to be honest, I appreciate all the women athletes. For me, they are my inspiration. All of them from different country, different sports. I will respect that. I don't have a special person, like a special one, but I can say like all of them they have a story to tell because in
Yeah.
sport always is a challenge to be an athlete and in high level sport. I respect all of them and they're my example. Like I always learn from them. They are always strong because it's not easy to make it on in level of
Yeah.
Olympics or champions.
Mhm.
But there is one athlete. I'm not really fan of football to be honest, because for me is a more male sport.
Okay. Football, you're
But
saying?
football,
Okay. Yeah.
for me, I'm not
Yeah.
a fan of that
Right.
to
Right.
be
Right.
honest. But I really appreciate Nadia Nadim. She's from Afghanistan
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and she was also a refugee and now she's the best football player in the world. I really inspired by her because I know it's not easy to make all of this special when you are
Yeah.
from Afghanistan. Your identity can hurt you most of the time because they see you, oh, she's Afghan, or she's like this. It's a
Yeah.
bit different. And also Didi Drogba,
Okay. Drogba. Yeah.
I
Mhm.
met him also.
Oh,
For
is it?
me,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, the reason that I really respect him is because he is the reason that war stopped in his country.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying sport is about
Yes. Yes.
peace.
Yes. 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 True.
Imagine he is a positive athlete. He's the reason that the war stopped. This is so big. But
So huge.
my
Yeah. That's huge.
athlete,
Yes.
my country,
Yeah.
my athletes from my country, they are normalizing terrorists.
Okay.
How
Mhm.
you see how different. So because of that, I'm always saying that if they really love the country, special athlete, because we are always passionate about our sport, because you fight, you train hard, for you it's important to represent your country. And when there are people like Rashid Khan, when they do that, I'm like, they have no excuse to normalize a terrorist group. So because of that, I'm so fighting against that because I see someone like Didier Drogba, how he's bringing peace, and still now he's doing everything to bring peace everywhere and to help every people that they are in a bad situation, other countries, to help them through sport. This is what is sport.
True.
And yes, for me, Didier Drogba, like I appreciate what he did through sport.
Yeah.
But normally,
That's a
I
great choice. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm inspired by my mother. I
Oh, yeah.
like.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Yes.
But in
Definitely.
sport, I always learn. I always
Yeah.
listen to the story of athletes. Michael Jordan, for
Yeah.
example, when I
Mhm.
listen to him, he really inspire me. Like he has a very strong mentality. And yes, I think all athletes they have a different story and they can inspire us in different way.
One word or one adjective that you have to use if you really have to define, so to say, for the current Taliban government in Afghanistan, what it would be? One word or one adjective?
One worst for the Taliban
Yeah.
will end, and they will never stay in Afghanistan.
Mhm.
One day they will be out of this country and the justice will win, because we are fighting for that.
Okay. You're hopeful and positive. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. Uh, Freedom versus fame. Which one do you choose? Because I guess
Friedemann,
the freedom versus fame. You're chasing both of them at the moment, fame and freedom. Which one you would choose if you have only one option between these two?
fame and freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom.
Okay.
As I can't live without freedom, to be honest. for me, it's very important for me. Like even sometimes when I feel like, even when I'm doing something, or there is some work, or I'm talking, if I feel that my freedom is in danger, I leave. I go crazy. For me, my freedom is very important. Yeah.
Okay. Great, great.
Yeah.
Coming out of the rapid fire around now, trying to be a little bit more sane. In a sense, one last line that you'd like to, one last line for all the women out there in Afghanistan, trying to make a life out of themselves, trying to fight for their own freedom. What would be, your words for them? I mean,
Yeah.
what you would like to say to tell all those women out there in Afghanistan?
I want to say that, first of all, I want to say they are really strong, and they are my inspiration, and they are inspiration for all women around the world, because their resistance is a like is an inspiration for me, because this needs courage to stand against a regime that tries to make your life dark and to make you invisible. And for me, they are my example, and I want to say that we started this fight and we will win. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not in 1 month, but at the end of the day, we will win, because, as I said, injustice will never win. And women of Afghanistan, they're very strong, and they are fighting for that, and they will achieve their freedom. And we do our best to be their voice. We don't forget them. We will never forget them, because we are apart, we are out of the country, but every day we think about them. We fight for their rights, and together we will win this fight. We will win against all of these people who are trying to oppress us.
Okay, great, great words, great sentence.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Marzieh, for coming in. It was really a wonderful talking to you, and we wish you that you'll continue with this good fight that you think is right, and keep on inspiring others as well. And of course, we also wish you all the best for your sporting journey, Taekwondo, right? Keep on fighting, both on and off the mat, because
Yeah.
you're doing both the things at the same time, right? One, fighting your opponents, giving some good kicks, and then again,
Yes.
yes, and again, yes, yes. Once you're
Yeah.
out of the mat, you're again fighting for the rights, women rights in Afghanistan. So I know it's not an easy task. So there is a long battle ahead of you, and I'm sure you'll only get stronger from here. And all the very best for the rest of your life. And
Thank you.
yes, yeah, and thank you so much for coming in again, and
Thank
also
you. Thank you
inspiring
so
so
much.
many others as well. Thanks, Marzi.
Thank you so much for having me, and I hope people watch this, and let's stand together and to change things. And I really want people of India to support this fight,
Mhm.
especially for boycott of Afghan cricket. And yes, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks,
Thank
Marzi.
you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye. Bye.
Don't miss out. Log on to oneindia.com for more updates.